Today's question is, what did Jesus mean when he said that we should forgive others 70 times 7? In this video, I'll answer that question from a biblical perspective. Then afterwards, as always, I'll share some helpful resources, so stick around until the end. Jesus said we are to forgive others 70 times 7 in response to Peter's question, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother when he sins against me? Up to 7 times, Matthew chapter 18, verses 21 and 22. To fully understand what Jesus was saying, we must look at the context of the whole chapter, for Jesus was speaking not only about forgiving one another, but about Christian character, both in and out of the church. The admonition to forgive our brother 70 times 7 follows Jesus' discourse on discipline in the church, in which he lays down the rules for restoring a sinning brother. Peter, wishing to appear especially forgiving and benevolent, asked Jesus if forgiveness was to be offered 7 times. The Jewish rabbis at the time taught that forgiving someone more than 3 times was unnecessary, citing Amos chapter 1, verses 3 through 13, where God forgave Israel's enemies 3 times, then punished them. By offering forgiveness more than double that of the Old Testament example, Peter perhaps expected extra accommodation from the Lord. When Jesus responded that forgiveness should be offered 490 times, far beyond that which Peter was proposing, it must have stunned the disciples who were listening. Although they had been with Jesus for some time, they were still thinking in the limited terms of the law, rather than in the unlimited terms of grace. By saying we are to forgive those who sin against us 70 times 7, Jesus was not limiting forgiveness to 490 times, a number that is for all practical purposes beyond counting. Christians with forgiving hearts not only do not limit the number of times they forgive, they continue to forgive with as much grace the 1000th time as they did the first time. Christians are only capable of this type of forgiving spirit because the Spirit of God lives within us, and it is He who provides the ability to offer forgiveness over and over, just as God forgave us over and over. Jesus' parable of the unforgiving servant follows directly after his 70 times 7 speech, driving home the point that if we are forgiven the enormous debt of sin against a holy God, how much more should we be eager to forgive those who sin against us, who are just as sinful as they? Paul parallels this example in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 32, where he admonishes us to forgive one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, has forgiven you. Clearly, forgiveness is not to be meted out in a limited fashion, but is to be abundant, overflowing, and available to all, just as the measureless grace of God is poured out on us. Want to learn more? Subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Visit gotquestions.org for more great content, and check out the details section below this video. There's one book I recommend, along with several related questions. If you'd like to learn about Bible Munch, or if you're interested in bite-sized devotionals, subscribe to Bible Munch on YouTube. It's linked right here. Now remember, got questions? The Bible has answers and will help you find them.